Welcome to Fairy Tale Access. Together, we will unravel the heroes, young and old, who turn dreams into reality. These are the people who still believe in fairy tales. Hi, welcome to Fairy Tale Access. Today, my guests are the members of Leaving Eden, a new band that just signed a national contract. And we're going to find out how they did it, a little bit about what they do and where they go and where they've been. So thank you both for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's
Thank
so
you.
exciting to have you. Congratulations on your new contract.
Thank you.
So how did you get started?
Oh, it started in
In the band itself.
the band itself. Honestly, he found me online.
Okay.
Did a search and for a singer, and I went down to audition, and it's evolved, and here we are. Really, it was I sang. What did I sing? Janis Joplin's Bobby McGee, I think it was, for my audition, and here we are. It's evolved from there till now.
Wow, and how long has this band been together?
8 years or
8
so.
years?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was after the first 100 people came up to me and told me how great she was that I said, okay, 100, the first 100.
It's
And it was consistent. It was nothing about me or the other.
It
It was
took
all about
100
her.
people. He didn't believe it till it was at least 100. No, I'm kidding.
So do you think it rests with the singer, or do you think it rests with the dynamics of the group together, playing together, to be able to enhance her voice?
It's definitely the whole thing because, you know, if it was just me by myself on stage, you know, you don't have the whole dimension of everybody's personality when we're on stage and what we do for each other. It's, you know, we need all of us.
And I think Leaving Eden is definitely the live show for sure.
Yeah.
You know, because that's where you can capture the energy. It's hard to capture it online, you know, when you're looking at a video or something like that. But you go to a live show and the energy is just felt, you know, by everybody.
Oh,
And
that's
shared.
great.
I want to say shared. We all share it.
Yeah.
So it's a big team
With
effort.
Oh, absolutely.
with the audience, sharing that energy with the audience.
So you understand what your audience is
They're
looking for.
part of the show. You know,
Really?
we're all there in there
at the
together.
end of
That's the way we
yeah.
see it. We're all
At the
there
end
having
of the day,
fun.
you're
and-
there for them. You know, I'm doing this because, yes, I love to sing and to perform, but it's for my fans.
Yeah, we're there for them, and they're there for us.
Yeah, they
See?
feed me. I feed them. Same with all of us that on stage. It's wonderful. It really is.
Oh, that's great. I know you guys have to travel around a lot together. So do you all get along? Do you guys have your little idiosyncrasies like every family? Is it like a family? Or since you guys are a couple and you're
Well, see,
married,
I don't
are they
like
like your
to-
children?
I don't like to get woken up
No, he doesn't.
in
No.
the morning, so I get upset. And
Yeah.
That's one of my things.
That's his. It's a big thing. But we've.
So day gigs are not good to
Well,
book with you?
Well, it's rock and roll, so it's they're mostly all at night.
Well, the problem is
Anyhow.
you're not getting to sleep till 4 or 5 in the morning, realistically, you know, and then you got to get up at 8, you know, so, yeah. But I work on it.
He works on it. But no, we are definitely a family. You know, your sister, your brother, whoever, you're going to have an argument with them. You're going to get over it. You're going to
Right.
move on. So that's pretty much how we are also.
Oh, that's great. Now, how did you guys develop a liking for the type of music that you do? Is it something that you've always liked since high school or younger?
That's a good question. For me, the songs kind of come from somewhere else, so they're already produced in my head. They're done.
So you write all your own music?
Yeah, and so it comes, so that's, I guess, what I like. You know, kind of put my fingers in the air as antennas, you know, and there we go. Or in a dream, you know, the songs will come in a dream, completely, again, produced. Sometimes I, you know, forget them because I don't have enough, I can't wake up to get up and try to record something, so it's lost. But then I'll hear it again. And we have a song about that, too, that we're shooting a music video for.
Oh, nice.
Talks about that.
For me, ever since I was a baby, you know, my mother always had the radio. Even in my bedroom, the radio was playing. There was music. There was all types of music. My grandfather played the fiddle. You know, it's been in my mother used to play piano. I don't know if she still can or not, but I'm sure she can. It's just, so I think that, you know, that all of us like all music. You know, some of it is irritating you know, it's like you like
Right.
something and some things you don't.
I remember when I first met her, you know, she was in the back seat. We were driving somewhere, and she was singing a heart song that was on the radio, and it sounded so perfect, and she was doing it so effortlessly, like she didn't even realize, and it was so perfect, and she's hitting all those high notes. I'm like, wow. I mean, she can do this in just one take, just like that. You know, in the studio, she's great. I mean, we'll do, when we do our songs first, we record them all first before we record them professionally.
Pre-production.
You know, so she has no idea the way it's going to go, and she's got to lay down the tracks and gets it right done, you know.
So,
So there's that connection there, definitely, with all of us, and it works the same way with the other guys too. You know, it
so
just
do you all
comes in.
collaborate on the rhythm? Because you have the words.
Yeah.
Or do you already know in your
Yeah,
head?
I
how
put it
you want
together, and then we just all put our pieces in there, and you know, and make it Leaving Eden.
Right.
And it really is. I mean, each component, there's 4 pieces in the band, and each one is equally, I feel, as important. You know, without one or the other, it wouldn't be what Leaving Eden is today.
Absolutely. So, what did you guys do in high school? Did you guys sing, play music?
I
Were
started
you in band?
Yeah, I started. I actually grew up. I was born here in Nashua. I started dance when I was 5, and then I did drum corps, the Suburbanettes that were in Hudson. I did that all through high school, and I did chorus in school. I did a drama club.
You guys traveled too,
Yeah,
right?
I
Went to
traveled. Yeah,
California.
we did competitions for color guard, and
You performed for how many people?
when I was in drum corps, I was in the Blue Devils from California, and it was probably, I don't know, 10, 15,000 people in the stadium. I don't even know. It was a lot though, and it was
Wow.
amazing for me. I don't do drugs. That's my drug of choice, is to perform in front of a crowd and to get that energy.
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah, my
Same for
entire
you?
life, in
Yes.
some way, shape, or form, I've been performing.
And did you get any specific training for
Well,
singing?
for dance, yeah. Maybe honestly, probably mostly him for singing. You know, I've read a lot.
She's earned her doctorate
Yeah.
by now.
I read a lot. I do, you know, technique stuff and how my body feels, because as a singer, it's your body. So you have to kind of know how to do it right so you don't hurt yourself. So that
Right.
was something that you know, you have to work on in practice, and it's an everyday occurrence. It's not just I'm a singer.
Oh, really?
And you need that, as a singer, you need that piano there, because the piano, the notes are there. They're either there or they're not. There's no in between there. So you utilize the piano while singing, and the scales and all that stuff, and then you can't go wrong.
No, there's the natural talent, you know,
Right.
the natural, but still, you know, you want to know so you don't end up with nodules on your vocal cords or anything like that. You know,
So what type of exercises?
there's just,
There's-
I don't want, I'll look like a goof if I do them right now. lip trills, just breathing exercises, stretching your body, and
Right on. I wasn't in any high school bands or anything. I was a punk in high school, so I just played my guitar. Always. I was the guy, if it was at, you know, a place where everybody got hung out and stuff, I was the guy in the corner playing the guitar. And I just had that guitar in my hands. And that's my advice for anybody. If you're going to play, you really want to be a musician, then you got to play your instrument. And you got to do that for, you know, 10 years straight before you even think about doing anything. You want to make sure that you've honed in on your craft, so that then you can get together with some people, you know.
So-
But that would, a good way to streamline it is just get your craft down.
Do you think that having, did you take classes or anything?
No,
No?
no.
So-
I did, but I ended up, you know, I was better than the guy that was trying to teach me, so that didn't work out for me.
So it's just
I'm not
finding-
being like, you know, I'm just saying that was that
So
situation.
who else influenced the way you work?
I guess my father, pretty much. You know, he's a straightforward person. organized and all that. I've been to college. I got a couple college degrees and stuff, so I guess that helped me. I did take music in college. I got straight A's and B's in college, except the only class was music. I got a C+.
A C plus in music, and you signed a national contract. How about that?
But it ended up being music listening. It was like Renaissance period and different languages and in the year 1600, whatever, and you had to know what they were saying. It was like, uh-oh. And I remember, and I think that the professor, he didn't like me because we argued about leads in music that they would, that they're just on the spur. You know, you just do it and then they record it. It's not something that's written. And I said, well, I write my stuff, and he didn't believe it. And then I brought in a Dire Straits song, and I played along with that Sultans of Swing lead. And I did it note for note with the song, and he got so pissed off. And I think that's why he gave me the C+.
Yeah, it's tough when you have teachers like that. Were there any teachers that were positively influenced?
Not really, man. I can't, only in like junior high there was one, but other than that, no.
Did you have any other jobs before, or were you always in music?
I've always been in music, but I've been in management, and I work with people with disabilities. I've been doing that my entire life. So I figure, you know, I want to help people because, you know, I'm more fortunate than them. So I want to share. It's all about sharing, really, and connecting with people. You know, I feel that everybody is connected. We all come from the same place, no matter who you are.
Exactly. Well, I
Period.
think that comes across in your music and the way that you relate to your audiences.
Right.
So I think that was a good influence.
Yeah, we don't
for
look at
you.
ourselves as, you know, wanting to be stars and all this stuff. It's really about sharing what we like to do.
Well, I want to be a rock star. I am a rock, you know. I
Yeah,
want
but it's
that.
not about, like-
it's about both, the balancing of the both. It is.
How do you mentally prepare yourself for going on stage, the day you go on stage?
You know, I'm always a little bit nervous. The butterflies. I just do it. Just do. Like, I don't even know. It just mentally. It's something that I love. So it's not that I'm afraid, but there's always that nervousness. And once I'm out there, it's just I go. That's where I want to be. If I could be there 4 hours every day, I would absolutely. I mean, physically that might be a little bit hard, but I would.
That's awesome. So what goals do you guys have for the future with your band?
I want to fly, I don't know why.
No, we're gonna be recording a new CD very soon. You know.
We can't say with
No,
who,
with
but
who,
it's really big.
Yeah, it's
That's-
good. It's very good. But, you know, we just want to keep climbing that ladder, keep going forward and not stop. You know, when I'm 80 years old, I hope that I'm like Tina Turner and I can still go out and tour. She's not 80. I don't even know how old she is now, but she rocks. She's awesome.
Yeah,
And
Frank
why not?
Sinatra sang till the day he died.
Yeah, I would.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So where have you been? What are some of the highlights from starting? Where did you start? What type of venues did you play? Was it restaurants or?
I used to own a couple bars, and so we actually started in one of my bars.
Oh,
We were
that's
going to be
perfect.
called something else too. We were going to be called Dodge City because
Yeah,
always
Dodge
had
City.
we always had
Hate
fights
it.
in
Oh.
my bar, you know. So
No, that's not acceptable.
So how did you come up with leaving Eden?
she came up with
Eden.
Eden,
Yeah.
and you know, and I wanted more than Eden, and then so we're, you know,
Going back and forth.
and then, you know, we figured that this is Eden. Everything here is Eden. It's beautiful. There's so much beauty on the planet. Sorry about that. But you know, it's become corrupt and everything. So we want to get out. We want to leave, go somewhere else.
That's a great explanation. So, Mr. and Mrs. Guyman, and you're originally Carol. Is it Carolyn or
No,
Carol?
just Carol. Yeah.
So how did you come up with Eve? You're the Eve for leaving Eden?
I am. Yeah. And
We had a character. If you look at the album cover for our last record, that's Eve, and it's her. But you know, we had the artist, which he did a lot of stuff for Metallica and Iron Maiden stuff.
yeah.
He's authentic. He's not even from this country. But it was a kind of superhero
my superhero version of me.
Eve. So that kind of transferred to her. the name kind of stuck.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good name.
It is.
And she speaks fluent French, too. She's
Oh, really?
French.
Yeah.
Ooh, so another country you have to visit?
Yeah. Oh, I will,
We ha-
definitely.
We have.
Oh, you have?
C'est beau aujourd'hui.
Which countries have you been to?
The UK, Canada,
Aruba.
all over the United States. And now, soon, I'm hoping that we'll be going, the rest of the world.
That's fantastic.
You know what's funny? We were in Europe and we had to get to the next city, Nottingham. And to make a short story long, we got pulled over. The driver got pulled over. He didn't have his license. I don't know. And they asked him to go out. Next thing you know, they asked us all to get out, and they were arresting him for something. We don't know
Yeah.
what. So now we're
Was
on
it
the
your
street.
driver or somebody from?
No,
Well, we-
it was somebody from, England.
Europe.
They drive on
gave
the
us
other side of,
drivers
yeah.
and stuff
Right.
and vehicles.
We weren't going to drive, and
So we had to take all our stuff out
We were
and carry
stranded.
it in the rain and find where to go. Cell phones didn't work, so we couldn't call anybody. We didn't even have a phone number to call anybody anyways.
all of our equipment, we're walking.
8
we-
or 9 of us.
Yeah.
Starts raining.
Uh-huh.
But the funny part about it was, and it was like over $700 just to go to the next
go to
city
on
a
the train.
Like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
But we're on the train now, and so it wasn't fun doing that.
No.
And I was videotaping
Videotape
the
it.
landscape behind the train because it was so beautiful, right? And she's sitting there, and so her face is in the corner of the video, and I see, and her lips moved, When I was reviewing the video after when we got home, I said, "What did she just say there?" Rewound it, and she said, "I didn't even get to sightsee." And I thought it was so funny because right behind her was this incredible landscape. I mean, just so beautiful, right there. All she had to do was turn and look out the window.
And we were just in London.
Oh, wow.
But because of, when I was upset. What are you going to do?
You're upset. You're wet.
I'm tired. I didn't
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah, you can't eat in Europe between 1 and 5 o'clock. Okay, so you can't eat. So we found out the hard way by walking to
1
one
and 5
place.
o'clock p.m.?
Yeah,
Yes.
walk to
Well,
one
see, it's
place,
like
no
America.
food. Go to the next place, no food. Then they say, well, maybe the place down a few more blocks. By the time we did, we're miles away.
And hungry.
Never got to eat. Had to go back, and then we had to get to the gig. We didn't end up eating till later that night.
So now you know how they feel when they come here and there's nothing to eat between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m.
Right.
Because you
So-
can definitely get something there
Yeah.
then. That's funny. So what's the weird, besides, that's not fun, but what was the weirdest experience?
Weirdest thing.
When we got robbed,
Oh, that doesn't
No,
sound
that
good.
wasn't fun. No, that it was, unfortunately, Andrew and Danimal, our bass player's
and
nickname.
Dennis was in there. He's
And
part of the
Dennis, yeah,
crew.
our crew. They were sleeping and somebody broke into their hotel room while
While
they
they
were
were
sleeping.
Wow, so they didn't
Stole
know that.
Andy's pants and all his
it was-
clothes, so he comes running down the hallway in his
With no
underwear,
pants.
and his shorts and his boots.
Poor Andy, we keep telling this story. We can laugh about it now because he
They
has
took my
pants.
pants. He had no pants. Took their wallets, took everything.
Oh, that's awful.
We were in Ohio.
Ohio?
Yeah, you would think that,
Yeah.
yeah. But you never know. You never know. There's desperate people out there, and I guess they really needed those pants.
Yeah, maybe they really liked them.
Yeah.
Did
it must-
anybody else the same size? Maybe? No?
No.
Yeah, I think I must have lent him something.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
we went
You
and
gave
bought
up some clothes. Yeah, and then we went to the store, but we managed. It was fun. It was funny. Sorry.
I think we ended up we showed up to play this festival, and there was all these huge stages around, and then there was this little coat rack on the side, literally.
Coat rack?
Yeah,
You mean
it was
this
like
tiny little
this,
stage?
And they
Plywood
said, well, that's
stage.
where you're playing. Oh, great. Oh, and you're going on first. And there was like maybe 100 people there, 200 people. It really hadn't even got started. All right, but we'll play anyway. So we did it, and we played. After we got off the set, the guy comes up and says, hey, he goes, you guys want to play tomorrow?
The promoter.
And I said, sure, man, we're here. We'll play tomorrow. What do you got going on? And then he got mad. He's like, what do you mean, what do I got? You don't know what's going on here? What do you think all this stuff here is for you? He said, you really don't? He said, I put so much money, it's Woodstock. And I said, Woodstock like the Woodstock? He said, the 40th anniversary Woodstock. I put so much money into advertising on the radio. You kidding me? You want to play or not? I said, absolutely, we'll play. So we got to play on the big stages and meet everybody and hang out and eat with them, and it was just awesome.
Yeah,
you know,
that
and it
was
was
a
like
really
full
cool
circle, you
experience.
know, because Woodstock is
Wow.
where
It
it
was very-
started,
yeah,
right? And here we
exactly.
are, and we're one of the only bands that wasn't originally on it yet. We
Yeah.
got to share the stage and be part of it, and so
That must
I
have
think
been
everything
exciting.
happens for a reason. We've had opportunities to play with. We play with Black Sabbath, Shinedown, Disturbed, Alice Cooper, Marilyn Manson. You know, we're playing with Queensryche coming up. We're playing with Sebastian Bach from Skid Row coming up. So we've had these opportunities, and I don't think that, I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And we've just, in every opportunity, we've just been fortunate to be able to
Well, we've
be
honed our
there
skills.
at the
We
right
know- we
time
know-
and at the right place.
We know how. Do you know? For me, it's that moment when I know I have the audience. I have you, and sometimes it might take a couple minutes. Sometimes it's right away. But when you know you have, there's that connection that you're feeding off of each other. It's just it's amazing. I don't remember what I was going to say besides that, but it's when you know.
That's awesome.
That's the only way I can describe it.
So unexpected opportunities.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
and
you
I
leave
would
yourself
say
open for them.
Absolutely. You
we
have
play
to.
anywhere, anyhow, any way we can. If we can do it, we do. We like to do a lot of charities. We like to raise money for people in any way that we can. We've done
So
a
would
lot of that.
Would that be a recommendation for young people getting into this business?
Yeah, don't
That
think
they-
about the money, but being out there. You know, you can be the best musician in the world in your basement with your band, but if you're not getting out there, then that's where you will stay. So you take and you get out, especially with the internet today. You know, you look at the way the record business is. Yes, there's a lot of setbacks and things have completely changed, but I look at every setback as an opportunity.
Right.
You know, and I'm talking to people in Italy and you name it. We got a record selling in countries that I've never even heard of. You know, and that's
Isn't that
good. When you
amazing?
get that just worldwide distribution through major record labels, you get everywhere where you could never do it yourself. You
But
couldn't.
and you have to understand that it's a lot of work. It is work.
It's grueling work.
Every day.
I've been in the studio for for
Sorry.
3 days straight without sleep,
Yeah.
without showering, just in the studio, just straight because you know you got to get stuff done, and you know I do shower a lot though, but
So for young people, though, it's just taking any experience and going because there's unexpected opportunities
You
around.
know,
Choose
the
what you
Beatles-
wanna do.
The Beatles have played before for 3 people, 5 people, whatever it was. It
It's
doesn't
that
matter.
practice.
It doesn't.
hook
yeah.
up with a good band too.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're playing in a coffee shop, you know, in an arena, in a bar, in a club. It doesn't matter. You're going to please somebody there.
And be different and be unique. Don't follow everybody else. Don't play the exact same music that everybody else is playing just because it's on the radio. You know, get that from somewhere else. You know, that's
So
where I
be
get
true to
it.
yourself
Right, absolutely.
and find people with similar interests.
And don't and make sure you're great at you got to be great at what you're doing.
How did you get the other band members? How did you all fit together?
Actually, Danimal was roadieing for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the bass player that was there didn't work out, and Danimal.
We were camping.
Yeah, we
We
were
were-
camping,
yeah.
and he brought his acoustic, and he's playing "Stairway to Heaven" on the guitar, like perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, perfectly on the
Really?
acoustic
Flawlessly,
guitar.
yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
And I said, man, if he can play this on the guitar, he can play bass, you know? So, you want to play bass? Sure, I'll play bass. And then he was in.
Yep.
And then Andy, we played with Godsmack, I think, and a few other bands at this big festival at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Rhode Island. And we hooked up with somebody else that Andy was friends with. Andy's been on tour, you know, for 7 or 8 years, with, you know, through Universal Records. So he's toured with everybody from Seether to you name it. So he was definitely had his stuff down, and then we needed a drummer, and you know we had already been corresponding with these other people that were friends with Andy, and next thing you know, I got a call from Andy that he wanted to play drums for us.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you all just clicked?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
that people find people that they're supposed to. I
Mm-hmm.
really do. I think that it's a process that's maybe already written. You're supposed to be meeting these people, and you know, what do they say? Flocks, birds of the same feather flock
Birds
together.
of a feather flock
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
You know, and people find people in that way.
So is this the way that you imagine the fairy tale would unravel? Because now you guys are married, right?
Yes.
It is. It is because, like
Absolutely.
you said, that
Absolutely.
family element, and you know, you've got to love the people that you're with every second. And imagine if you're with, and that's why I'm glad that things didn't take off before, because people that we were with before, it just wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have
Right.
worked,
It
and
would
then
have.
we would have been with those people for the rest of our lives. You know, so things again. There's so much. I call it divine intervention that goes on, and plans that have to start way before you're even aware of them. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So tell me where you're going and how you got to where you are today.
Work.
How did the national contract come up?
We've had a few of them. You know, we signed with European record label, Right Recordings, Universal, Sony, Nova, and again, it comes up through, you know, we play at this show or whatever, you know, and we meet these. How we went to Europe, you know, it was what's that clothing line? Affliction. They had that Affliction tour. So one of the guys on the bus, I believe it was the bass player from Static X that, you know, ran to him and said, "Hey, you got to check out this band."
A
So
lot
then
of
he
it
comes
is
and checks us out.
networking. You know, you meet, like, you're at a show and you meet this person, and then this person brings you to that person, and then that person ends up talking to Eric online, or you know, it's just
So just like any other business
and
where you're trying to
just
get ahead, you
really like any other business. A little bit harder though. It really is. The
But at the end
entertainment
of the day, it
business.
all comes down to the music,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
it
And the
does.
song,
It does.
right?
And you guys make that work beautifully.
Thank you.
And we have some really great songs coming out on this next record.
Really?
That,
What are some of the things that influence you? How do you come up with the songs? Like, are there specific artists that you grew up with that influenced you? Is there different types of music?
I've certainly been influenced on how I play guitar, but again, like I said before, the songs, they just come, so they're already done. I just got to, it's like playing a record and then having to learn, you know, and listen to the record and having to play it. It's already done. I can't even take credit for it, to tell you the truth. As strange as that may sound. But I mean, if I'm just hearing the whole song and it's done in my head, I think it comes from somewhere else.
Yeah, but
great.
sometimes it, you know, like lyrics, he'll say something, you know, I want to write about this, or I might give him an idea, and then that idea will go to here and here. You know, it evolves, and everyone puts their 2 cents in, and you know, everyone is influenced by other musicians, of course, and dancers, or you know, theater people, and
And so, how about what's going on in your life? Does that also impact what you write about?
oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's probably one
Most.
of the biggest one, yeah, the most important one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think most of the material is real. So it comes from something that has transpired.
Are you working on anything really new?
Yes.
Do you have a title that you can share to tease us into looking at your site for it to come out?
Yes, I would say we have one song that's called "Come Hell or High Water, You're Going Down."
You're going down?
Yes. Well, we actually wrote that for
MMA or WWE.
well, yeah,
Something like that.
We wrote it for like
Oh.
a theme song for a wrestler.
Okay.
So, but we're gonna put it on a record.
That sounds much better.
Yeah, no, there's my favorite song that, you know, when you just find that song and you're in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
I am in love with this song. It's I'm not gonna sing it for you because we're only in pre-production with it. And what did we decide to name it?
Crucified?
No, well, that one too. That one is Crucified is a very, very personal song for me. The first few times I tried to sing it, I couldn't. You know, it was just,
Emotional.
yeah, very, very, emotional. But there's, you know what? There's a lot of hits on this next, in my opinion, and I'm saying that very humbly. They are. They're really, really well done.
Oh, that's great. Are there any other songs that you've already produced?
Yeah, we have numerous songs. We have two
We have about
CDs
10,
right now.
10 records worth of material.
Yeah.
that we plan on recording every
Everything,
song.
yeah.
Oh,
We have
wow.
2 CDs available right now that, one day we'll probably go in the studio and re-record and re-release. And, they're evolving. They might be an older song, but you can make it new again, and revamp it. But Between Heaven and Hell is our newest one. We have, there's a song, Leaving Eden, on there that is the story of leaving Eden, and that's a great song.
That sounds
Redemption on Tied and Bound. It's so hard to pick. As the artist, it's so hard to pick. What's your favorite song? And I love them all, And it's like you're asking, which child is your favorite child? You can't.
That's true. So, if people want more information about your group, which is the best place to go? Do you have a website
Yep.
and Facebook page?
Both. We
And are
have
they both-
Twitter, leavingeden.com, Leaving Eden Band, MySpace, whatever that's worth nowadays, but all out there. But first,
And
the
all
links
under
he's got.
Leaving Eden?
Yeah, Leaving
Yeah,
Eden.
I say the website can get you to, all the links are on the website, and the videos and the music. And
Okay, so it's
everything you need to see.
leavingeden.com.
Right.
Fantastic. All right, and since you can't tell me a favorite song, do you guys have your favorite book ever? Is there a favorite book?
She does.
I read a
She's the reader.
lot.
I wrote a book. That's my favorite book. I haven't had it published yet, though.
Oh, really? What is it about?
It's about everything. You name it, it's in there.
I'd say it's more of a autobiography. Not really, kind of, no.
No? Like Hitchhiker to the Galaxy?
Something
maybe?
like that, yeah.
Hitchhiker to
If you
rock
say
and roll?
anything, it's in there.
Oh, really?
Love, rock and roll, you name it. Aliens.
Aliens?
Yeah, he's into that. My favorite book, I don't even know. I've read so many.
Growing up as a little girl.
Oh, Stephen King was huge for me.
As a little girl growing
Not
up?
little, but yeah. High school, I read all of Stephen King.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And I just pick up, I can't even think, no. I don't remember the name of it. I just read all the time. It's okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just to be sure, what type of instrument do you play?
Guitar.
Guitar?
I play all instruments, but
What
I play in the band.
What type of guitar?
I play Gibson, and I have a Schecter too that I got from Jägermeister. So that's pretty cool. They
That
gave
is
it to
cool.
me when we went on tour.
Wow. Now, is there anything that we might have missed that the audience should know about your group or upcoming venues that you might be playing
Sure. First,
starting in January, let's say? What are you doing?
I did
for the
want to
new
say
year?
that when we were in Europe, we were 10 minutes away from Stonehenge, and we didn't go see it.
Oh, you
It wasn't
didn't?
my fault.
It wasn't?
No.
Do you get blamed for everything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't.
Someone's got to take the blame.
No,
so-
it wasn't it was just circumstance. We had to get to the show.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well, you could go to the one in Salem.
Yes.
I just recently found that
We live like 5 minutes away from there.
I know, and you always think, oh, I'll have time to go
Yeah,
to that place.
and you never go.
Exactly. But I recently read that it's connected by latitude or longitude lines
Really?
to the one in England.
I believe it. I think like you meet somebody, everything is connected. There's the energy there, and I think most of the time, most people don't pay attention to it, and we should.
Absolutely.
And in the future, like I said, we got those couple concerts coming up, and we're looking at some really big tours right now.
We're doing a video will be coming out. We'll be going back in the studio, and we're going to be very busy come spring and summer.
We'll come back and update you. How's
Yeah.
that sound?
Oh, that sounds great.
and
We'd love
We should
updates.
come back and we'll do
And I
a
want
few songs.
pictures on the tour of some of the things that you get to see. Anything. You have to try and look at least one thing.
Yeah.
A lot of the artists that we play with are pretty cool, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
There's been some
Really?
real jerks. I won't name their names, but mostly everybody's pretty cool and down to earth. If you're
Really?
if you're up
Is
there
it
on the same
competitive?
stage, you're kind of accepted.
It's very competitive
Really?
in some respects. I think especially when you're at the level that we're at right now, there's so many people. You want to be the big fish in a small
I don't
pond.
feel it's competitive in
Well,
any way, shape, or form.
Not
but
with the
that's
people
my
that we're
opinion.
playing with, because they're at this level and there is competition, but I don't personally want to compete with anybody, but other people.
Do you think that maybe it's more because you're a girl in this field that it's more competitive? Because not a lot of
Well,
women,
being female makes it a little bit more difficult.
right?
But
And I think
I'm not
overall,
a normal female when I'm on stage. Eve comes out and she's very powerful. She is.
right? But I think that in that industry,
Sounds like a split personality.
do you think that women happen to be more competitive than the men involved?
There's more
Maybe.
drama with the guys. I'm sorry.
Really?
It's true.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
There's more drama with the guys.
Uh-huh.
Should we ask about it?
Sure.
Okay, well, what kind of drama goes on with the guys?
I'm not saying you specifically, but from what I see, we'll just make pretend that they know what I'm talking about, but they do. There is.
do
Actually,
nothing,
you know
we
what,
just-
Eric? These guys,
We
no,
just
it was
play.
just people around us that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside people.
Yeah.
The outside people
Yeah,
looking in?
that's ridiculous. It really is. You really got to keep your team.
Really
We've
tight.
realized, because we try to let anybody in. We're just nice people,
Right.
and no good deed goes unpunished. And I never believed that to be true until I've seen it literally over and over and over and over and over. It's true.
It's true. But I think if you keep your band as and your core
Core.
members
Yeah.
that support the band together, that you can do well. But when you have to have those outside influences to balance things,
Right.
they don't always flow with everything.
No, they don't.
Right, exactly.
And
Because
they're
they
not
don't have the
lasting,
same
it's fleeting.
vision.
Right, and it's not the same combined team goals.
Right.
So
Different
probab-
agendas.
Right, like when you're signing a contract with somebody to do a performance, their agenda and what they want and what you guys want.
Right.
And having worked at Foxwoods, I've seen some of the contracts that come across, so you guys are pretty even keel.
Yes, we are. Our writer, like some water, a little bit of food, it's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You don't need a specific type of water.
No, not really.
Oh, that's good.
As long as it's not, it's not sewer water or anything.
Yeah. So,
It's got to be bottled.
Yeah.
so being in a female, this is really a male-dominated field, don't you think?
You're right about that, and I've had people come up just even on this last tour,
Yeah.
and guys had come up and said, I don't like female singers, but now I love them. I mean, sold, hardcore metal, sold, and just not even, just hating the fact that there'd be even a female up on stage in this kind of music, and then just fans forever. I mean, and we answer everything that comes in, and there's a lot from all over the world.
Yeah.
But we answer everything. Maybe there'll come a day when we can. I mean, if there's a billion things coming in at once, then of course we can't. But right now, we answer everything, and we keep in touch as well, and keep them informed.
Well, I think
'Cause they're our
keeping them
friends.
informed. Absolutely, and they want to
I
follow
don't even like
you.
the
Right.
word fans. I don't like it.
It's like extended family members. They want to
Right.
they want to see you succeed, and they want to see you move on. But
And they want to
more-
be there for it.
Exactly.
Be part of it.
Yeah, because it's an amazing feeling when I think when you create a song and people react to it and, interpret it in their own way.
That's,
And make it their own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and music is the universal language.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're talking string theory as well, and just vibrations. I mean, it all comes down to numbers. Everything's a mathematical equation. It's pretty cool.
Wow. I know math and music go together a lot.
right?
So is there anything that we missed?
I would say anybody pick up an instrument because it helps you in everything that you do because it helps you, you got to analyze things down to the beat. And every movement that you do on your instrument has to be in perfect time. That's numbers. Mathematics, like we said, if you're a mathematician, the odds are you're a pretty analytical person. But you can take that with you in everything that you do. It opens your mind. That's what it does. It opens a part of your mind that can't be open unless you do that. So I'd say
have
every
fun with it.
person pick up
Enjoy
something.
what you're doing.
Piano, I
That's so
think, is
important.
it's the hardest, yet it's the easiest that you can start to play something on it right away. You know. But if you want to be a great pianist, then of course it's probably the hardest thing to do.
That's true. But working with young people that have different disabilities, don't you find that to help them understand math better, when you incorporate music or dancing, that it really helps them?
And everybody loves music too. Yeah.
Some form of music, right?
Right.
Music
whether-
therapy.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic for all of us, isn't it?
You'd think so. And what about dancing? It must be the same thing with the different counts and the beats to keep up.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's, you know, it was the first thing.
I'm not a dancer.
I did a lot of the nonverbals communication before I did the singing, so I was able to bring the two together. And you know, you just move your arm one certain way, and you're portraying something, and you're giving something to somebody. So it's communication, and it's healing for me also. You know, whether if I'm having a bad day, I can go perform, and it's new. It's a new day. It refills you. It really does.
And everything on the stage, while you're on stage, is part of the show. So you can't be sitting there, just everything you do from the second you step onto that stage to the second you walk off is being watched.
That's true. Did you guys have a hard time in school at all with any of your classes, or?
I was a punk, so I didn't, have a
No,
great
believe it
time
or
in
not,
school.
I was very, very shy and very quiet, and I observed in school more than anything. And don't get me wrong, I had friends and all of that, but now I'm, I'll go in front of 10,000 people. I'm absolutely fine with it. But back then, I watched a lot. I watched.
So do you think the music and the ability to express yourself in different ways with the instruments or learning an instrument is something that young people in school should be doing to help them succeed?
Absolutely, and it's a shame that a lot of schools are cutting, music programs, and that is really sad. It really is, because it is, like, Eric has a son, Jacob, and he is an amazing musician. This kid is already an incredible drummer, and all because, he had his father to teach him, and he's got school. He's, luckily that he can do it in school, and he's getting better and being in a jazz band, and it's all, a brick in the wall.
Absolutely. Well, when we do I do fairy tale festivals.
What is that, anyways?
The fairy tale festival? Oh, it's crazy.
In a quick synopsis.
It's to give young people the experience to be on a stage that has about minimum of 5,000 people, and no matter what their skill level is, it also promotes literacy and asking more questions. But one of the groups that you guys remind me of is the Nashville Symphony Orchestra. For the last several years in Nashville, New Hampshire, would bring in an instrument petting zoo. And the kids
Cool.
would get to touch all the instruments and really get a feel for what they're like. And several of them have gone on to take classes. It's really changed the way that
amazing.
they look at things.
Right, because
we
I
try
can
to add
imagine
those-
if they're looking at it on stage, what is that? They don't know what it feels like. Yeah, that's great.
It is. So I think you guys helped to do that too. So thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure,
And
absolutely.
you've given a lot of insight for young people to, decide what they want to do, and know that it's okay that they're going to have to take other jobs to get to where they
Yeah.
want to go.
And it's okay.
It is, but everything takes work, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I would say
and passion.
go where the scenes are too. We've been to California. We continue to go back to both California and New York City and Chicago. If you don't get over there, then, you know, yes, there's a scene in New England, of course there's a scene, but the business is there, the offices and everything is there, you know, the movies, everything in California, everything's in these places, so you definitely have to get there and play.
What's a good way to get there and play?
Again, just getting out there and playing, and then one thing leads to another. Good thing is to hook up with a good band too. You
Yeah,
know?
and be smart and safe about it too. And
You can definitely save a lot if you hook up with a band that's already doing stuff. You know, we didn't do that, but I think that that's a good way to streamline. You know.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
Thank
have an
you very much.
exciting band, and it sounds like you're going to exciting places. So we'll look forward to hearing more about it when you have a chance to fit us in again.
Absolutely, love to.
All right. Well, good luck on your tour. We can't wait. And you guys, next time, keep asking questions, and we'll see you soon.